Intellectual humility, I think, is one of the best acquisitions that I've gotten in the last few years. I do think of myself as pretty intelligent, and there's a tendency to feel like I am as intelligent as I need to be at any given time. But obviously, the world gives you a bunch of hard knocks, and you come down from that high horse of it. And a big aspect of why I think I still have much to gain in terms of intellect is that I've realized that no matter how smart I am at this time, all of my intelligence is filtered through English. I only know what I know through the filter of the English language. It is fascinating to learn about things called lexical gaps, which are words that we maybe should have a word for, but we don't. Like, the biggest one for English is we don't have a plural form of the word you, which is why we came up with y'all. Like, literally every other language has that. So there's some limitations automatically, but then there are deeper things that they have shown not only change how you speak, it changes how you actually view the world, how you actually experience. For example, languages that only use a present tense, they've shown that they have a better savings rate because there's no sense of I will have to pay this bill down the line. There's the immediate feeling of I have to pay this bill. It's effectively the same thing. You owe a debt, but the language that you use reinforces the immediacy to yourself at a level that you're not even aware it's affecting you. There are also languages that are just more ripe for empathy. I guess Spanish. People there are less accusatory about events because the way that you say that an event happened doesn't always inherently include a subject. And yeah, there are just a lot of other great words, like schadenfreude is one that we just have to say in English. Like, we have to say the German word because there is no direct translation for this feeling of being satisfied at somebody else's oh my gosh, let me try that again. There's no other word for being satisfied at somebody else's dissatisfaction. And being Americans, that is a feeling that we have a lot, is it not? Yeah, it completely changes, and there are countless other examples. It's so fascinating to look up of how English, being a pure English speaker, affects you by default. You are not seeing the world through a purely objective lens, and obviously we should all already know that we're not, because we only got to have this one life in this one culture with all these other singular default settings, including, for a lot of us, our one language of English. And what's really frustrating about this to me is that it might just be a conscious incompetence thing for the rest of my life. I do speak a little bit of French, like enough to, if you drop me in a purely French-speaking city, I could get my way around town and not die, but I would look awfully foolish in the process, and everybody would mock my accent. But, even if I learned about all the differences in English and another language, right? I can't intellectually bypass the effect of that language being what you grew up in. That language being how everybody else had an automatic default as well as yourself. Culture plays a huge part in your perceptions of life. Even if I learned a bunch of other languages, I don't know that I could ever be totally integrated into the new perspectives that that language offers. But hey, at least I'm aware of it, right? there's a certain point in expanding your horizons when you can just say, they're about as expanded as they can be for right now, and I just have to throw up my hands and say, you're right, I don't know otherwise. You're right, my perspective is limited. But that is so freeing. It is so freeing to say, you know what? I might not have the most fully rounded view possible. Even beyond language, it's of course the bigger problem of we can only be this one person. But maybe we could all, including myself, just have a little bit more curiosity as to how somebody's in their default state, instead of just marking ours as the supreme correct one, because it's the one that we happened to receive in this life.